Okay, so after you have your intake manifold removed, alright, so now that we have this on the bench, we're going to go ahead and grab your A2B kit. We're going to unpack it. So this is the line that's for your high pressure pump. The freaking Sour Patch Kit on my foot. This is the T that you're going to use to tee off from the high pressure pump. These are the 2 drill bits you're going to use. And you get some clamps and some nut certs here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the bigger one. We're going to drill out the holes for these dingus hoppers, these little inserts. So what you're going to do is, I think that's the one. This just looks so weird. So you have this. So these are how you're going to bolt it down, but currently they're not tapped. So what you need to do is get this, and there's no guides. Actually, the other kits come with these guides, which is for, this one's for the injector hole. And so you place that in the injector hole, then you put this through that. It just doesn't even fit. But that's for that. And there also is another one, a guide for these nut certs here. But currently, if you just try to thread these on, they're just going to break and they're not going to go on. So what you need to do is get your drill bit, kind of get it the angle right, which could be a little hard. Considering there's no guide, all you're doing is going off of your So what you're going to feel, because inside there it steps down, inside this hole. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it steps down. So once your drill bit catches, it then gets like, so it'll catch and then it'll go to a spot and then it'll stop drilling. So it goes in there and see mine kind of stopped. So it'll just spin, and if you keep forcing it, what it's going to do, it's going to grab and it's going to snap this right off. Ask me how I know, because that's done it. Been there, done that. So then what you do is you grab your insert. So you grab your insert. Inside your insert, there's the Allen hole. And my autofocus is off. Great. Or nope, my servo's off. Okay. So then inside there, there's an Allen. And then you just get your hole here. I expect you late this is going to break, but I'll give it a try. You can use an Allen. I'm not going to use an Allen. It's a 6mm Allen. I don't like how that fits in there. Doesn't quite go far enough. What you can do, which would probably be easier, is put a mark on your drill to know how far you need to go to fit this in there. The problem with the drill bit is it's tapered on the end, so it kind of bottoms out before you even get where you need to go. See how it started to catch again? You've got to be very careful that it doesn't catch and you just keep going. because it'll catch and it'll try to go all the way through that, and then it'll end up breaking that tab off. See, that broke like I knew it would. That's awesome. So once it gets to a certain point, this thing gets really tough to turn. And then it's so fragile on top, it just splits the top. So what I've had to do on the last ones, I don't want to break this. Like, I mean, you can get these in as far as they'll go. That one's broken now, so I won't go any further. And so is that one. So what I'm gonna do is cut the top off. There's no threads there. And now that's at the proper depth. Take your other drill bit. Take your first drill bit, go over to this thing, and if you reach in your hand in there and push the flat down, so push the flat down, this arm will move, stick this drill bit in there. And that'll keep you from destroying this, your flaps, or from drilling through them. And once again, there's really no guide for this that I saw in the kit. Go ahead and you drill at this angle here, because you can pretty much get it started at the angle that you need, and then get through the hole. Because then you'll be able to put your injector in. So you just kind of work this hole now. Make sure all of them are all the threads are cleaned off with a I'll blow this out when I'm done. Do this one. Take it, match it up again. Clean up all the burrs when you're done. Something, whatever you have. I have not seen instructions on their website or anywhere of how they want you to do this kit, but I've done as you know, I've done other ones. This just doesn't have the locating dowels for the stuff, which kind of sucks. So what you gotta do is come in here and then just clean everything up. all the pieces and all the bits. Okay, so after you got all your things cleaned up and drilled out and for your injectors, I do those last. But I mean, usually these ones are tiny, so I might as well just do these ones first. Because the fuel rail is always a pain in the butt. Okay, I'm gonna go and throw this back on now. Okay, take your new wobbly camera. Take your new fuel rail. Is that in focus? I think so. And go ahead and install your fuel injectors into it. Make sure these are snug. All these are tight on here. Freaking have a crisp wrench, but make sure this is tight and this is tight. I had somebody that I think it was just left loose, but this O-ring blew out on his and sprayed fuel everywhere. I don't know why. I didn't check it though. When I installed it, so. So since there's no instructions really, not that I was able to find on these, I just assumed that the injectors go like this. The green one, the wire, green wire, yellow wire, white, and then orange. Turn these to sideways so the connector is getting, so the harness is getting smashed right into the fuel rail. Go ahead and install these clips back onto the injectors so it'll clip into the injector and it'll clip into the rail. Seamlessly. That one. See, there's like a higher ridge where it slides into the injector, and then it slides into, so this top part goes into the injector and the lower part goes like this. I have had them, or if you're unlucky where you get the Bosch ones of these with the big tall ones, good luck with any of that, because it doesn't clear any of these motor mounts, brackets. I've done that with multiple companies. Just the standoffs, there's not enough standoff. The rail needs to be almost all the way out here. But for whatever reason, there's no standoff. So these go all the way up to the block and they run right into these bolts here and you can't fully bolt these down. So let's see if I have that problem with this one this time. And with this kit also what I ran into is that, like I said, not sure if I'm doing something wrong, but there's no instructions. This is way too long. That shoulder sticks out way too far, so even the bolt is way too, like, this is way too long, and this is what comes in the kit. So just like I said, what was gonna happen happened. This fitting over here is, this fitting right here is hitting the motor mount bolts, and this one over here is hitting these bolts so it doesn't sit. Alright, so like I said, they don't have enough standoff on these kits. I don't think there's been a single one that I've installed that's been worked fine. The injectors need to sit up higher. You've got all this space here to clear this and this. Just make extensions on these. I don't understand what the problem is. So now I have to take these brackets off for it to bolt all the way down, and then it gets so now I know from last time I can't do this first, then do my tranny, because I have nothing to hold up my tranny for the mounts or anything. So this kind of pisses me off. That's like my biggest gripe with these kits, is my face. It's shit. It's a shit design, and it pisses me off because you pay a lot of money for this, and there's no instructions, by the way, anywhere that I could find online. And then it hits this. What am I gonna grind the bolts down and then have them like you can't even fit a socket on there? Or am I gonna customize thing? It doesn't say anything. They don't come with extra. This is what grinds my gears and arm. Put me in a bad mood because I knew this was gonna happen. So now I'm gonna do my engine mounts and the clutch and everything. And then after that, I'm gonna have to pull those brackets off, which also there's a bracket that comes over here and holds this intercooler pipe, which no longer, that'll be available because you have to take this off. So I give this a thumbs down for that, because even with these shorter, the problem that I ran into with the tall injectors, or their old kit, I don't know if that's different style, but they have the Bosch injectors, which the connectors are massive and you have to turn them and you finagle them in there. But anyways, that's enough of that. So also what you're gonna do is, this will go to your, this will be your fuel pressure sensor. The big one will go here. And then somehow it's supposed to, nope, just kidding. This goes over to the ME, engine control unit. And then this 3-pin, so you unplug this one down here, and that's how you get that for that reference for the tumble flaps. So you unplug this one and you plug that into here and this into there. And then this one will plug into your low fuel pressure sensor, and this one will plug into your, what am I thinking? Ethanol sensor. The ethanol sensor is not here right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the clutch now. So back to this A2B install. This bolt is way too long for the, I don't know if I'm missing something completely, but this is the second kit that I've installed and ran into the same issue. I had to take these engine brackets off to hold the engine up when you, or whatever, and it also holds the engine cover, so now you can't clip it in over here. All you got is this spot and this spot, and that's it. Because the bolts just hit here, unless you're going to modify the rail, which obviously I'm not going to do. These bolts are way too freaking long, so I'm going to grab some other bolts. So I have these other bolts. These are T30s, which are, let me get rid of the bolt that I just chopped. Here's the bolt that comes in the kit versus the one that I'm putting in here. I think this is from Mechatronics. Way shorter. Those ones were impossible to fit. There it is. There you go. She's locked down now. I went ahead and plugged the low fuel pressure sensor in that comes with the kit, because you're gonna need to plug that in. And this harness is almost hitting that. It's pretty close. So like I said, you can't do that now over there. And I got this, so I'm just gonna have to run the wires for this to the engine control unit still. This is going to come off anyways, so I got to run the E85. Alright, so that is pretty much it for the MPI install. If you need to refer to my other video where I do the wiring, you can go ahead and jump on that video and watch. That covers all the wiring to the engine control unit. But as far as the fuel rail, that's it installed. I had to remove these brackets. Yeah. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and finish out that, and I got a million things to do.